And of course, Legal Tuesday it is. And we have an advocate of the High Court, none other than Lawrence Obonyo. He's always with us. He is a regular.
Yes.
And we love all the insights that we get from him. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
How are you doing?
Fine, thank you. I'm very glad. Thank you for having me.
You are welcome.
Asante san.
We have a rise in fake degrees. So the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission,
Yes.
raised an alarm over forged academic credentials in public and private sectors.
Yes.
Now, Kenya is currently dealing with an increase in academic and professional certificate forgery
Yes.
in the public sector, and of course, this results in urgent call for systemic reform and increased vigilance.
Yeah.
Let's look at the numbers. So since 2022, the Commission has investigated 549 cases of forged academic and professional credentials. Of this, 85 files have been forwarded for prosecution, resulting in 13 convictions and 7 acquittals, right? And also, another data shows a verification exercise conducted across 91 public institutions has so far unearthed 1,208 forged certificates from a sample of 53,000 cases submitted to the Kenya National Resource Region Council.
Yes.
So, a lot of us are in public offices
Yes.
and in public-private sector with fake certificates. I want to start with, whose problem is this? Is it the employer who should be doing the due diligence, or is it the person who's faking their certificate, who's forging the certificate, who is not doing the due diligence?
Wow, that's a very important and challenging question. But the main thing, if you ask who is supposed to be doing verification, the answer is simple. The person inviting another person to be under their employee should be doing the verification of documentation. On the other hand, you can't place any responsibility on the culprit who wants to secure this job by faking this document to produce a correct document.
Yeah.
There's been so much pressure for us to have certain documentation, so much that people are willing to fake it.
Yeah.
And that is the problem we have as a society. It's systemic, it cuts across the board, and it shows who we are as a society.
Yeah.
So generally, tuko pabaya.
Tuko pabaya.
Yes.
So still on that report by the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, they said that they're able to retrieve
Yes.
the salaries. So they're able to recover
Yes.
salaries and benefits obtained fraudulently by individuals who gained employment using fake documents.
Correct.
Are they able to do this?
Yes, they are able to do this. It's in a process called surcharging. When you surcharge someone is when they get the word is fraudulently benefit.
Yes.
When you fraudulently benefit, especially from public coffers, then the entity that is in authority has the right to follow through to surcharge you for all the amounts that you gained while you are not certified or qualified to gain this amount. This is a problem. Now, you will notice that this is not a new phenomenon. It's something that has happened if you follow through with the cases that have happened, especially with the counties. I know of 2 counties, Nyamira and Kisii County, whereby you've had individuals employed and you are not taken through the regular process. Afterwards, after the court has certified that actually their employment was not proper, then the court does the right thing and say that this person ought to be paying all the salaries and benefits they received while they were not certified or qualified to receive this. So it's something that is possible.
So if they're unable to pay, then they're jailed?
There are 2 ways of dealing with debt.
Yeah.
One is going purely the civil way of ensuring that you even attach someone's property, because once you have an order that, for instance, Salim has benefited irregularly and he's told to pay this amount, failure to which he has 2 options.
Yeah.
Option 1 is to have his items attached and then auctioned to recover the money. Option 2 is to put him to civil jail. The only problem with civil jail is that there's a maximum time that you can put someone in civil jail for a civil debt. that is 6 months. That is continuous. But other people are smart enough to do it like they put him in for 1 month, he comes out. They take another order to put him in for another month, he comes out. So you do it as many times so long as you attain the 6 months. But the beauty of that is that even after serving 6 months, whether consecutively or intermittently, the debt does not go away.
What do you mean? but I've already served. I've already served 6 months.
The debt does not go away. The law actually puts it in such mandatory terms that irrespective of the fact that you served civil jail for the period of 6 months, the debt owing still is there. So it is for the judgment debtor, the person who has the right to recover this debt, to decide what they will do next. So someone can put you in for 6 months. After that, they still come and auction your property.
But then what's the purpose of me, serving the 6 months?
So that you don't get off with a slap on the wrist.
Okay. You've mentioned civil jail.
Yes.
What does that mean, and what cases fall under that?
Okay. There's a difference between civil jail and normal sentencing.
Okay.
Normal sentencing is when you have a criminal offense. Makosa ya jinai.
Yeah.
So when you have a criminal offense, you are sentenced either with a fine and a jail term, or a time served with an option of paying a fine. But civil jail means that whatever is taking you to prison is emanating from a civil proceeding. You have someone's debt you have not paid. There's amount that the court has declared you have not paid. Things like that. Basically, it emanates from an amount that needs to be paid.
Okay.
Now, the difference between civil jail and normal criminal sentencing is that in civil jail, the person who has committed you to civil jail pays for your food.
Oh.
Yes. Do you know how much it is per day?
No.
60 shillings.
Okay.
So it is easy to commit him to civil jail for 6 months, and I pay 11,200, and that's it. Or thereabout.
Okay, so you owe me money.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You owe me money.
Yes.
And I want you to pay, and you don't want to pay.
Yes.
So I decide put Gona in jail, right? Civil jail, that is.
Yes, after going through the process, you get an order, you take a notice to show cause, and then you ask the court, put him in civil jail.
And then I have to pay for his lunch.
Once the court declares that he will go to civil jail, you pay for his subsistence. That is 60,000 per day. It's not 60,000, 60 shillings per day.
Yeah.
That caters for his breakfast and lunch, or breakfast, whatever meal they normally have there.
But why do I need to take care of him? He's already...
Because this, you're assisting the state, you're assisting the taxpayers. Like, why should I pay for your... Okay, let me put it this way. The debt is between you and Gona.
Yeah.
So Lawrence here has no business in that debt. So why should my tax cater for a private thing between the two of you?
But he's committed a crime. He's stolen from
It's
me.
not crime.
So for him not paying you,
Yeah.
it is not an offense against the society. It's an offense against you individually. Contrary or different to when I offend the society, like I have struck him on the face,
Yes.
and I have breached what we've agreed as a society, that there's no fighting. So that way, all our taxes make sure that you punish me. But this is individual.
So what you're saying is, because you've opened a whole...
Pandora.
Yes, it's a Pandora.
Another
Pandora
bottle here.
something.
Yes.
What you're saying is, in fact,
Yes.
I'm going to take it to now Shylocks.
Yes.
When a Shylock... I'm not giving you guys ideas. I'm just trying to learn. What you're saying is, when somebody borrows money,
Yes.
and this is not from a Shylock,
Yes.
and then I refuse to pay, or they refuse to pay,
Yes.
I cannot be arrested for that?
No, you cannot. Why? It's a private agreement between the two of you. In fact, if you're arrested and brought to, let's say you're brought to Central Police, and then you call a lawyer will turn up there and tell the police, this is civil, and you'll be released immediately. Because it's a civil case. You've not offended. There's no criminal case there.
Lakini ya bank.
Ya benki.
Kichukua loan ni bank alafu kose kulipa.
Vile hautashikwa upelekwe kituo cha polisi. Benki lazima wachukue mawakili wao wakuandikie ile barua ya ilani, a notice, a demand notice. Baada ya hapo wachukue kesi wapeleke kotini. Kama ni chini ya milioni 1 wapeleke kwenye small claims court.
Kama small claims.
Yes. Yani madeni ambayo hayajapita milioni 1.
Yeah.
And then baada ya hapo kama ni zaidi hapo wapeleke kwa koti za kawaida. Baada ya hapo uamuzi utoke. Uamuzi ukitoka wawe na njia mbili za kupata pesa zao. Aidha wauze mali yako kwa kupitia kuinadi or jambo lingine ni wachukue amri ya kukupeleka katika civil jail. Na katika civil jail hiyo tunayozungumzia wakulipia shilingi 60 kila siku.
Chakula.
Okay.
Muda wako pale ni miezi 6. Baada ya miezi 6 unaweza kutoka, lakini deni bado liko katika kichwa.
That's a very good breakdown of such cases. We didn't know. Let's go back to the fake academics.
Turudi tu huko kwa sababu hapo umetukoroka lakini ni sawa. Nione mtu akinini. Nishasema.
Lakini kuna jambo moja lazima niseme kabla
Yes.
tumalizane hapo kwa Miriam. Kwa Shylock, wajua biashara ya Shylock pia ni biashara ambayo kisheria pia kuna mahali kuna shida kidogo.
It's illegal.
Yes, kidogo tu. It's not illegal, lakini it's risky because hakuna mahali unaweza peleka mtu zaidi sababu hauna leseni ya kufanya biashara ya kupeana pesa. Leseni hiyo inapewa na Central Bank of Kenya. Sasa pale itakuwa ni kama private loan. Ile mimi nimekusaidia na pesa, ukikataa kulipa fuata. Lakini benki unajua lazima wawe na insurance,
Yes.
wakuwe regulated, zile interest zao zikuwe regulated. Na unajua hata Shylock leo umechukua pesa kutoka kwake, kesho anakuambia kila mwezi inapanda na 10% ama 20%. All that is illegal. Kuna ile sheria inaitwa Duplam. Mtaweza kuisoma baadaye. Duplam inamaanisha kila deni ambayo imechukuliwa kisheria isiwahi zidi deni lenyewe. Yani interest yake isiwahi zidi deni yenyewe.
Yeah.
Nimechukua pesa kwa benki, nimechukua milioni 10. Nimechukua muda, interest ni kitu milioni 10. Wao wanataka kunidai milioni 30.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, but you're so right, because with Shylock you can actually end up paying double or even more.
100 times.
Yes.
Shylock, they tell you that I'm
punitive.
giving you this money. In fact, in the document mtu ataandika ya kuwa nimekupatia 100,000 lakini juu kwa juu already nakata 10,000 kwa mwezi huu. So anakupa 90 lakini umesign for 100,000.
Yeah.
Alafu the next month unaambiwa ulikuwa unafaa kulipa 100,000. Next month ikifika miezi 6 utapata tayari umezidi ile amount ulikuwa umechukua. It's not tenable.
So what you're saying is, you've not said it's illegal.
It is illegal.
It's illegal, right?
Yes, it is illegal.
Okay, so again, for somebody who owes
Ni illegal.
what?
Na-
Okay.
Na najua
Wacha
kuna
tuachane na hiyo
mwingine
story
pia
ya Shylock,
ananisikia.
because
Ni illegal.
we lipa deni. Lipa deni.
Silipi.
Uko na wakili sio?
Kuna mtu una target hapo ukisema ni illegal.
Mimi. Haya, unipelekeni Central.
No, we'll talk about the Shylock business, because I know a lot of Kenyans are hurting because of this. Anyway.
Yeah. So turudi pale kwa msingi. Swali litakuja lakini naelekea hapo.
Naam.
Ukianza umesema kwamba ni jukumu la yule ambaye kwamba anakuajiri.
Ndio.
Because wengi tumeona na wale ambao kwamba kwa serikalini.
Yes.
Whether ni serikali kuu ama hizi za huku chini mashinani.
Ndio.
Ni jukumu la yule ambaye kwamba anaajiri. Ndio verify documents kama ziko sawa.
Ndio.
Na mwisho huku umezungumza pia ukasema kwamba ikipatikana kwamba dokumenti zako ni feki, utahitajika kulipa vile vitu ulivyo
vipata kwa
njia ya stakabadhi ambazo ni za udanganyifu. Na ikiwa lilikuwa ni jukumu la huyo aliyeniajiri, whether ni serikali kuu au ni serikali ya county,
ndio
kwa nini yeye hakujukumika kuhakikisha kwamba hizi stakabadhi ni fake ndio asiniajiri, halafu mimi nakuja kuathirika huku mwisho kwa sababu ya utepetevu wake?
Ni mwizi.
Na nalipata swali lako, lakini hata kabla nilijibu lazima niweze clarify ama kutoa nijaribu kurekebisha jambo fulani hapa. Ingawaji ni jukumu lake kuthibitisha makaratasi yako ama stakabadhi zako ni halali na ziko sawa, ni hatia kwako kutengeneza na kuwakilisha stakabadhi ambazo haziko sawa. Stakabadhi gushi ama vitu kama hivyo ni hatia.
Okay.
Na hapo iwapo itapatikana kunaye aliyekupatia makaratasi hayo akijua hivyo, hata yeye yuko kwenye makosa. Na tukishabainisha kuwa ni hatia wewe kuwakilisha stakabadhi gushi ama ambazo si za kweli, jukumu ni la yule ambaye yuko upande ule mwingine anaajiri. Zaidi sana tukiangalia katika hii idara ya umma, ni jukumu lao kwenda kuthibitisha. Na mambo haya, jambo ambalo linahuzunisha ni ya kuwa kuna mtu ambaye amelipwa au analipwa ili hakikisha ya kuwa ambaye anaajiriwa stakabadhi zake ziko sawa. Kila mwajiri anapopata stakabadhi lazima apige simu ama andike barua kuenda kuthibitisha ya kuwa makaratasi ambayo yameletwa hapa, stakabadhi au qualification ambazo tuko nazo hapa ni za halali na zimetoka mahali fulani. Na wasipofanya hivyo, hata wako na utepetevu upande wao. Kwa nini wewe uumie kwa stakabadhi ambazo ziliwakilishwa na yule ambaye anafaa hakuangalia vizuri? Tutasema umeumia wakati ambapo hata wewe hauko unajua stakabadhi hizo si za kweli. Lakini kama ulikuwa unajua, haujaumia.
Sijui.
Sababu nitakwambia njia moja ya kutojua. Kunazo idara za kuthibitisha kuwa kila shule au kila kituo ambacho kinatoa stakabadhi kiko na vyeti vyao halali.
Okay.
For instance, kama mimi nimesomea XYZ University, na XYZ University hawajamalizana na Commission of University Education, CUE. Hawakuwa na leseni zao. Kwa hivyo stakabadhi zote ambazo walipeana, hata kama tulihitimu, tumepiga picha, tumevaa magwanda yetu na kofia, kila kitu, yote yanakuwa hayawezi kutumika mahali popote. Sasa hapo mimi sijui. Mimi nimebeba stakabadhi yangu na najua vizuri nililipa karo ya shule, nimemaliza shule, nimehitimu. Lakini baadaye tunaambiwa hawakuwa na leseni zao.
Okay.
Kama hawakuwa na leseni zao za kufanya vitu, alafu stakabadhi zetu ambao zimetoka hapo, mimi sijui, nimeziwakilisha. Okay. Wajibu ni wa yule mwingine kwenda kuangalia. Na hapo tuko na kizungu kile tunaita legitimate expectation. Yaani matarajio yako ya kuwa kile ambacho unajihusisha nacho matokeo yatakuwa hivi na hivi. Kwa hivyo mimi nikiwa nimewakilisha zile stakabadhi, nimemaliza muda wangu wa kusoma na vitu kama hivyo, alafu siku moja mtu ananiambia regesha pesa ambazo ulipata ukiwa unafanya katika umma, sababu shule ambayo ilikutoa stakabadhi yako haikuwa na leseni ya kutoa stakabadhi kama hiyo. Hayo hata mimi ninayo haki ya kuwashtaki walioniajiri pamoja na waliotoa makaratasi, ili hata mimi nisilazimishwe kulipa, na hata zaidi ya hapo wanipatie fidia kwa kujaribu kwa kuniweka katika maumivu kama haya ya kufikiria au mafikira kama haya ya kuwa naweza pata kuregesha pesa.
Okay.
Yes, so responsibilities on the both sides. We must understand that every institution that issues certificates, they need also to be compliant.
Yeah.
Because there are times that an innocent Kenyan goes through an institution, pays school fees, sits in class, attends all the tuition, does the exam, goes for graduation, only to be told later on that your institution was not certified. Because every year and I think it's a 4-year term or something like that, the commission of University Education, the Commission of Higher Education, all these institutions that regulate, even if it's the Ministry of Education, they give a certificate of accreditation. If your institution is not accredited and you still have students, you are enriching yourself by taking their school fees and everything, yet you know they are not accredited, then you are liable.
Kuna zile instances mimi nimeambiwa kazi ipo kwa mfano kwa county.
Ndio.
Na nimetengeneza tu makaratasi, na unajua wakati mwingi pia counties kuna wale wengi wanapenda sana kuweka watu wao kupitia milango wa nyuma.
Ndio.
Sasa kuna huyu ambaye ameniajiri akijua kabisa sina, lakini ni ile aliniambia wewe tafuta popote. So mimi nikatafuta.
Ndio.
Sasa does it mean kwamba mimi nikishikwa na hizi forged certificates ama wameconfirm kwamba certificates zangu si halali?
Ndio.
Wao watakuwa wako safe kwa sababu sasa kuna mtu pale ambaye alifanya nikaingia kazi.
Hawako safe. Wajua, kuna hii kesi ambayo ilifanyika mwezi wa ngapi hapa Nyali. Kuna miezi ambayo iliyopita, watu walishikwa wakiwa katika process ya kupeana certificate katika foreign university. Hii university ilikuwa inaitwa University of something, Northern Eastern Africa something. Iko kwenye magazeti.
Is it the one we spoke about?
Yeah. Ile ya wachungaji kind of.
Yes. Hiyo Northwestern Christian University in Mombasa. Sasa watu wamekaa pale wanajua vizuri ya kuwa wao wanahitimu siku hiyo. Alafu baada ya hapo wanashambuliwa, maafisa wa polisi wamekuja. Watu wenyewe wameshtuka, wanashangaa nini inafanyika. Kumbe kuja kusikia kuwa university yao ni fake. Sasa kurudi katika swali lako, yule ambaye alikualika akakwambia wewe fanya ukarabati, wewe leta tutaziweka, uko na hatia. Wewe ambaye ulifanya ukarabati uko na hatia.
Yeah.
Correct? Na pale ambapo itafika ile process ambayo tuliita search ajili ya kuambiwa wewe regesha pesa ambazo ulipata kwa njia ambayo si halali, wewe utaambiwa uregeshe, na yule anafaa kupoteza kazi yake kwa kujaribu kuibia umma kwa njia ambayo si halali. Kwa hiyo sababu hata kama si yeye ameiba, amekusaidia wewe ukaiba.
Kwa hiyo sasa yeye issue yake itakuwa inaishia hapa, mwezi changia hii ya kwamba sasa mlipe nyote, maana yeye ndo amechangia ukaingia.
Lakini nani alipokea?
Nani wewe ulipokea mshahara?
Kwa sababu ulipotea mshahara.
Kwa sababu yeye ndo alini-invite.
Lakini yeye anaweza semekana ni mtu ambaye alifanya nepotism, ni mtu ambaye hayuko vizuri katika kazi yake. Unajua mtu ambaye si mkakamavu katika kazi yake, kukosa kuwa mkakamavu si hatia.
So now let's bring it
laziness and being a bad employee is not an offense.
If we bring it to now the citizen who's actually faking their certificate.
Correct.
What would the repercussions be for me? And we're looking at if we had a working system, because I mean we see it even in most of these fake certificates that from public institutions and even the private sector, right? They go deep.
Yes.
So we cannot feign ignorance and say that somebody didn't know. Find that they're actually aware that we have Miriam somewhere with a fake certificate or a fake degree, or we have this person. So meaning the corruption has infiltrated our systems way deep. If we had a working system,
we do.
Okay. I would still like to I believe that we have a working system.
Yes.
If we had such a situation, what would be the repercussions if you were found with a fake certificate, and are we able to clean up the system?
Miriam, to answer the question, I really need to emphasize on why I interjected by telling you we do. The reason why I tell you we do have a working system is that the system comes to life when interests are aligned.
Okay.
You'll find that there are public servants whose records come to light only when they are seeking certain public offices.
Yeah.
And even private entities or private or individuals out there, the information comes out to the limelight only when it's relevant.
Yeah.
So it means that we have a working system, only that this system is used selectively or only when it suits a certain purpose. Now, what would be the repercussions? The repercussions are quite clear. Forging documentation is a criminal offense.
Yeah.
Uttering false document is a criminal offense. You know, to utter a document is to declare that this is actually a genuine document and present it. Now, unjustified enrichment under the act that deals with public servants and everything,
Yeah.
it is an offense. So the repercussions are that you may be facing jail time of not less than 6 months and fines that accompany the jail time of not less than 10 million for each, if we look at them correctly. So the repercussions are there, and it cuts across the board in both criminal aspect and also looking at a public interest aspect. There are people who are declared unfit to hold office for certain integrity issues.
Yeah.
This falls squarely under that aspect or chapter of the Constitution that touches on integrity. If you are able to fake documents to secure a job, to try and serve people using fake documents, enriching yourself unjustifiably, denying someone else an opportunity to get what they deserve, eroding the entire system of education by making it look worthless, then you're not a person of integrity who should hold office at any given time.
Okay.
Yes.
So I want to take you to, again, Apple Office Yenu.
Yes.
We heard Brian Mwenda
Yes.
incident.
I like the way you say officienu.
Because they're the ones who are supposed to hold us accountable, right?
Yes.
Mwenda, Kenya's fake lawyer, or,
Yeah.
you know. So he was accused of practicing law without qualifications.
Yes.
And, of course, he said he was innocent. Now, in this situation,
Yes.
how was a man like him able to practice law without being identified, or without somebody saying, no, you were not, you're a fake lawyer? How was that? How did that happen?
First of all, I do not hold brief for the Law Society of Kenya.
Yeah. Yeah.
But these are matters that are in public knowledge, so I can freely talk about them. One, we need to confirm that this is an ongoing case. He
Yeah.
was charged in court.
Yeah.
And it's an ongoing case. The case is still at the prosecution stage. He has not yet been put on his defense. And it's something that we are confident that it's a slam dunk for the Law Society of Kenya. And number two, he did not practice law. He masqueraded to practice law.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a difference between the two. Practicing law is actually doing the job itself. Masquerading is pretending to be someone else or pretending to be qualified so that you can do that. So what he did was a masquerading. How was he able to do it blatantly? Because he took advantage of a system. Whether he got assistance or something, it's something that, or from someone, is something that is within still the courts.
Yeah.
But there is a Brian Mwenda who is a registered and qualified lawyer. So he took advantage of the name and then masqueraded by impersonating the person.
Okay.
So if you go within the system, you'll find a Brian Mwenda. But it's not the person who is walking around here saying that I am an advocate and I'm an advocate. So this is what we call masquerading. Then you go to the next aspect of how was he able to do this blatantly. We are a society of about 10 to 15,000 practicing advocates in the country. Practicing, that is litigation and everything.
Yeah.
There are scores of other advocates who are in the judiciary, private sector, and all that. So you find that we are a small pool serving more than 40 million Kenyans. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at every cycle, like earlier this week, you saw what was trending, that there was an admission where we got even Honorable Babu Owino being admitted to the bar. So it is, for other lawyers, not easy to keep up with the other people who are being admitted every day.
Yeah.
But the true bearer of records is supposed to be the Law Society of Kenya. So the Law Society of Kenya bore the records. And they don't have the image of everyone. This is how this fake individual was able to take advantage of the system.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Bless you.
So,
yeah. So
so how he did it, sorry to interrupt you, how he did it is trying to gain prominence, especially on the public domain, and presenting fake narratives. This thing that people are saying he won 6 cases, he won 26 cases, that is pure misdirection.
And
not a single case did he ever show that he won. But on the public domain, we have all these things. He never practiced law. He never filed things in court.
Yeah.
Because what the name he was using a Gmail private account. The aspect of collection of money. He gained prominence when he was able to be shown on national television during the case of Maina Njenga, or was it the former Mungiki leader. So he was also there in court alongside scores of other, about 10 or 15 qualified advocates, and stood up that he also represents so and so. But there was something that was off during that day, because the way he spoke, he didn't know what he was talking about, and he had to sit down so that other people can actually address court, qualified people. So later on is when people came to the realization that there's something off about this individual. The way he presents himself, the way he talks, he does not seem to cover what we have been taught in law school. That's how he
I think that will take me to the other question. Are we able to clean up the system? Because we have a lot of fake degrees, fake certificates, and these people are holding very important offices. Are we able to clean up the system?
The answer is in the affirmative. Yes, we can be able to clean the system. Looking at what, let's take that case example of that gentleman called Brian. He is facing charges. It is emerging that he may have gotten assistance. Other people have already been interdicted for that. People worked within the system. So this is how we can clean up the system. Let it be like a saw, cut across the board.
Yeah.
The people who assist, the people who aid and abet, and the people who benefit from the omission. Now, Miriam, I know you haven't spoken about the people in the public domain, like the Nairobi governor who had issues with his papers and all that. When it comes to certain offices, the panel that is actually concerned with verification and documentation of public servants, for instance, the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, they are supposed to do their job properly. They have the resources, they have the databases, they have the mandate and authority to call for documentation or letters of confirmation from different institutions.
Yeah.
Do they do this? Not at the right time. They only do it after they do a reaction. They are supposed to be proactive. You've been shortlisted for a position, you present your documentation, they do a verification, and then before the actual day of the interview or a public debate, if you're a servant who is going to be elected by people before you are cleared to run for election, then they are able to verify. They say that this person has the requisite documentation. You saw the case of, I think it was Wajir or Mandera governor who went through an entire term, only for them to say that he does not have proper documentation to have run a county government for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And then later on it turns out that indeed he did not have the requisite documentation. Where was the failure?
So actually, in that aspect, where now we have somebody running a county as a governor, who did not do their job, right? Because then you would ask who didn't do their due diligence. Because again, when you're applying for the institutions, when you're applying for a job opportunity,
Yes.
you send your certificates, you
Yes.
send your CV, they ask you for all these documents, and they're able to go through that. In a case where we have these governors, we have these people holding public office, and we can see that they're getting away with it, who
Yes.
is looking aside?
That is the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission. When documents are presented before you're cleared, and not only Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, you also have the Independent Boundaries and Electoral Commission, the IBC. They need to verify. They are the ones mandated by the Act and laws. We have actually submitted our rights to them so that they can be the watchdogs for us. So today I hear that Gona has been cleared to run for the county government of Mombasa.
Yeah.
Yes. And then tomorrow it turns out that Gona did not have his university documentation proper, or his primary school education documents proper. Then who cleared him?
Yes.
How did they clear him? Did they even do that process? It's a procedure. Then that person, if they fail, then that person should also be fired, because they are not good employees of the people. They are not working for the benefit of the people. If, God forbid, Gona facilitated or bought his way around it, then those people should be made to pay for that.
Okay.
Yes.
So mimi swali langu nitakurudisha mahali hapo.
Naam.
Tukiacha, because tunajua governor anahitaji degree.
Ndio.
Rais anahitaji degree.
Ndio.
Deputy governor the same, deputy president, that's the running mate, blah blah blah.
Yes.
Ukija kwenye hivi vyeo vingine hawahitaji degree. Kwanza wabunge wamekuwa postponed. Ilikuwa kuna wakati I think 2027 walikuwa na suppose wakiran wakuwe na wakaipostpone before tuende kwa uchaguzi, ikapita. So they don't need actually a degree, hata ma senator which is the higher house. So mtu amechaguliwa, amepigiwa kura,
ndio
amepita, haitajiki degree. But huko mbele tumejua ana stakabadhi ambayo si sahihi. Atakuwa amekiuka sheria kwa kule kuchaguliwa kwake, au anatakana afanywe nini? Because tushaona wengi hapa story nyingi tu huku, huyu stakabadhi zake ya shule alihuchi sijui nini, but they don't need the papers anyway kukuwa mbunge ama kukuwa senator ama woman rep, hata MCA huko mashinani.
Makosa ni makosa.
Yeah.
Wakati ambapo utapresent document yote, kama hauhitajiki kuwa na degree kupata nafasi yote ama kuwania wadhifa wote, lakini bado ulete degree ambayo si sawa, bado umefanya makosa. I hope you understand, because even if it's not a requirement, the moment you present a fake document, then it is already an offense, because you've already uttered the document. You've already produced a document that is not correct. Sasa makosa haiko pale kwa kuhitajika. Makosa iko katika kule kupresent. Ni nini umepresent? Wewe unataka kuonyesha ubabe ya kuwa ingawaji nahitaji certificate ya kindergarten, lakini mimi nawaletea mpaka PhD. Kumbe hizi za PhD zote ni za uongo. Bado umefanya makosa.
Now what if siku present your document, nimechaguliwa ni mbunge, mbunge Barisa hapa, and then sasa ni kapata hizo document na watu wakaanza kusema ni fake hizo document, what happens?
Iwapo watu watasema ni fake, wajua institution au idara huwa zinafanya kazi kwa mpangilio fulani, ili at least kazi iwe katika mpangilio mzuri, na pia kusiwe na kufanya kule kuwafuatilizia watu kwa njia ya kwa minajili ya kisiasa tu pekee. Kwa hivyo lazima kuwe na complaint ama malalamishi, formal complaint ambayo yanawakilishwa mahali fulani, na yule ambaye anawakilisha malalamishi anasema ya kuwa kwa niaba ya umma, for public interest, ningependa jambo hili lifuatiliwe. Ama anawakilisha hapo, anawaambia sasa jukumu ni lenu la kufuatilia iwapo malalamishi yangu yana msingi ama hayana msingi. itakapatikana ya kuwa yale malalamishi ama yule aliyelalamika ana jambo ambalo linafaa kufuatiliwa na ikipatikana bado unakuwa charge. Hivi basi watu wakisema ya kuwa nani akiwa anashikilia wadhifa fulani ameenda akapata stakabadhi na akaziweka hapa na stakabadhi zake ni fake, vitu kama hivyo, wajibu bado uko pale katika idara kufuatilizia na kuhakikisha ya kuwa malalamishi yake ni ya kweli ama si ya kweli.
Okay, Lawrence, I know we need to let you go because you're going to court. I don't know if you can give us an update of the court, your court proceedings.
Yes.
On the Shakahola case.
Okay.
Yes. What's happening at this moment?
Okay.
Yeah.
It's an interesting week this week.
Yeah.
We are at E006 of 2024, which is the offenses against children.
Yeah.
It's happening at Tononoka Children's Court. And we are at an advanced stage. We are at around witness number 39, close to 40. So this week we're dealing with witnesses who are stationed different places in the country, across the country. So we'll be dealing with the witnesses virtually and others will be coming physically. We are towards the tail end of the prosecution's case. Of course, being a children's court, all that can be reported or said about it is a bit limited because of the protection of the children.
Yeah.
But it's a matter that is advancing very fast. Later in the week, the reason why I'm saying it's interesting is that later in the week on the 29th, the public or anyone who is interested is invited. They can log in virtually. There's the other case in Malindi. That is a murder case that is about to kick off. The directions will be given before Justice Mugure Thande. That will be on 29th at 9 a.m. You can log in through the court system and see that 31 people have been charged with murder. You see in Tononoka there are 39 people being charged with offenses against children. Then the two other cases are coming in Shanzu. It's in 2 weeks' time. We are back in Shanzu for the cases against radicalization. And then in the month, in the second week of June, the third week of June, we'll be in Mombasa for the case against manslaughter. So those are public hearings that people are invited to listen into.
Okay. So how long do you think this proceedings will take?
We are hoping, as a defense team, we are hoping that they take the shortest time possible.
Yeah.
For the reasons that there have been a lot of things that have transpired. For instance, some of the accused persons have died. We started with 95 accused persons who were formally charged. 3 have already died. We have 92 now. Before they were charged, 2 died in detention in Malindi. So you see that the longer it takes, the more they fall off. When they fall off, justice is a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
The victims need to feel like they have gotten justice.
Yeah.
The accused need to feel like they've had their day in court, so that whatever is the outcome is a reflection of justice across the board.
Yeah.
Everybody has had their day. So we are expecting that in the next 1.5 to 2 years, we should be done with all the cases. 2 years should be the longest. Noting that there's one that is just about to kick off in Malindi, and that one we've already gotten the Court of Appeal directions that a judge should be appointed so that it goes back to back for it to serve also the public interest aspect.
Yeah.
So we are hoping that we'll move fast. So far we've seen that the indication from the prosecution is they're producing about 70 or thereabout witnesses for each case.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, wow.
There's so much to talk about.
There's a lot to talk about. Yes, I know. We'll be having at least an update every Tuesday on what's happening with the Shakahola case. Thank you so much for making time.
You're most welcome.
All right. When we get back, we'll be speaking to Professor Mwakimako, and of course, we're going to look at what's happening in Tanzania and the MPs now responding, back, and also matters education. What's happening? Where are the funds? Where is the money? Who's stealing?